There's a voice in your head and it talks to you all day, every day. And you've spent your entire life assuming that voice in your head is you. It's not. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know the difference. And that difference is gonna change how you view yourself and how you view your entire world. So that chatterbox in your head talks to you all day long. It tells you what to think about your boss's email, what to think about how your partner looked at you this morning, what to think when you catch a reflection of yourself in the mirror. And here's the thing you've never questioned. That voice in your head, you've never questioned it, and you assume it's you. Once again, it's not. Stay with me for the next few minutes. I'm gonna show you something that's pretty cool. It's going to change the way you experience every single trigger, every why did I just do that moment for the rest of your life. Quick question. Last time someone said something negative to you and you felt your chest tighten and your face get hot, your mind start building a case against them, who decided what they said actually meant anything? You didn't. Not the conscious thinking choosing you. Something much older did, rather younger, chose that reaction. Now, stay with me. Here's the idea that's going to reorganize how you see your whole life. You don't experience reality. You experience your interpretation of reality. An experience occurs in your world, a comment is made, silence from another person, a missed call, the tone of someone's voice. That experience is neutral. It has no meaning at all. But your mind assigns meaning to it in a fraction of a second, faster than you can catch it. And that meaning becomes a feeling. That feeling becomes a reaction. And you call that reaction, well, it's just me. It's not you, it's programming. Now let me make this simple. Think of your subconscious mind like a hard drive in a computer system. Somewhere between the ages of 0 and 7, your program got installed. Every time you got yelled at, every time you got praised, every time you got left out, every time you were made to feel too much or not enough, a line of code got written in your brain. And nobody sat you down to ask you permission if it's okay to write this code. You were 5, you didn't have the ability to question anything or that. You just absorbed it. It definitely left an imprint on your subconscious mind and you just moved on. Because that's what kids do. They survive first and sometimes understand later. The problem is that code is still running the show today. In your adult body, making adult decisions. So here is this analogy I want you to hold on to. A 5-year-old is driving your body around, making calls on your relationships, making calls on your business, making calls on whether you speak up with your family or shrink in the corner. And you keep thinking it's you. Present day, fully grown, making the calls. It's not you, it's the 5-year-old still trying to stay safe. Now here is where it gets even deeper. Now imagine you're wearing a pair of glasses. They've been on your face so long you've forgotten that they're even there. The lenses are smudged with every rejection you've experienced. Every time you weren't chosen, every time you got the message that you had to earn love instead of just being present and receiving it, and you think you're seeing clearly. You're not. You're seeing the smudges. You're unconsciously seeing your history and living out the stories that you've told yourself and made up along the way. You call it intuition, you call it reading people. Most of the time, it's just old glasses. Outdated lenses. I want you to notice something right now. Is there a person who always does a certain thing to you, who always disrespects you, or always abandons you, or always doesn't show up? Ask yourself honestly, are they actually always doing it all the time? Or are you wearing glasses that are designed to seek out that pattern, that behavior? Because finding it once back then, a long time ago, that disturbed you. Maybe even broke you. Here's the illusion I want you to destroy completely. You think people make you feel things. Your partner makes you feel unimportant. Your client makes you feel disrespected. Your dad makes you feel small. Even as a grown adult, having a random conversation with random people, they make you feel like an outcast. People contribute, but they're not the cause. The cause is the meaning your mind assigns based on programming that was installed before you could even write your name. Check this out. The same comment is made to a different person and they have a completely different reaction because their programming is different. That's proof the reaction was never really about the comment. Now here's the part most people miss. That meaning creates an emotion. That emotion repeated enough times becomes an identity. I'm the one who gets overlooked. I'm the one who has to prove myself. I'm the one who nobody chooses first. And once that identity forms, your brain does something wild. It starts collecting evidence to protect it. Not to make you happy, but to make you right. This is why smart, successful, self-aware people still find themselves in the same argument, the same type of relationship, the same self-sabotage over and over. It's not bad luck. The world is not against you, and you're not cursed. You have a 5-year-old's operating system still running the show. And your identity is the security guard, making sure nothing threatens what it already believes to be true about you. Here's a sentence I want you to sit with. You're not attracting your patterns, you're defending them. I see this constantly in my own coaching sessions with my clients. I had a client, business owner, built a whole company from the ground up, brilliant with numbers, terrified of confrontation. Every time an employee underperformed, he would avoid the conversation for weeks. Not because he lacked skill, because somewhere in his programming, conflict equated to abandonment. His 5-year-old self learned that pushing back on someone bigger than you, that gets you hurt. 40 years old, running a sales team, still negotiating like a kid trying to avoid pain. The same thing shows up in relationships. Someone pulls away for one fraction of an evening just to recharge, and their partner spirals into, they don't love me, they don't want to be with me, something's wrong with me. That's not intuition, but a lot of people do perceive that voice as such, like it's telling the truth. That's an old program, mistaking a normal human need for space as evidence of the exact abandonment they've feared their entire life. Here's something that's going to challenge you. You probably think you're self-aware. You know what you think, you know how you feel. Real self-awareness asks, where did this come from? Who taught me this? Who made this rule I'm living by? Knowing your thoughts is not the same as understanding and knowing where and when and how they were built. So what do you actually do with this? The next time you feel your chest tighten, your face get hot and flushed, your palms get sweaty, or that story, that inner narrator starts writing a dissertation in your own head, pause, take a deep breath, and ask yourself these 3 questions. 1, what actually just happened? Allow only the facts to surface. No interpretation of what happened. 2, what meaning did I just attach to that? Or what am I making this mean right now? 3, how old is this part of me that just reacted? The 3rd question alone will change your entire life, because most of the time the answer isn't 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 years old. The answer almost always is 5, 7, or even 12 years old. You don't need to fight the reaction, and please don't judge yourself. You just need to notice that it's not actually the current you calling the shots or making the decisions. So here's what I want you to walk away with. You spent your whole life assuming that voice in your head, the reactions in your body, the stories you tell about yourself and everyone else around you, that's just who you are. It's not. It's a program written by a kid who is doing its best to survive in a world that kid couldn't choose or couldn't control. That kid is not your enemy. He kept you alive, but he was never meant to run your life forever. The moment you separate yourself from that voice in your head, even for a second, you get access to something most people never find. A choice, not a reaction, a choice. Most people skip the choice. You're not broken, you're not too sensitive, and you're definitely not meant to live out these same experiences forever and ever and ever. You're just finally wise enough to notice who's been behind the wheel driving this vehicle this whole entire time. That's the whole game. Not motivational nonsense, not waking up at 5 a.m. to conquer your day, and definitely not ice baths. Just pausing long enough to notice your program. The voice in your head, it isn't you. And the second you own this fact, you get your life back. You can now consciously choose your response to life and to the people you love and to the people in your life. If this resonated with you, you already know someone who needs to hear this too. Send it to them. And if you want to keep learning how to separate yourself from the programming that's been running your whole entire life, subscribe, because this is exactly what we do here every week. We make the unconscious conscious so you can create your life by conscious design.